you had those days where you think the sky is falling and all the weight just keeps landing on you and you don't think your day can get any worse, and then you get blasted with something else again and then again and again. You're like, what the heck? How did I deserve all this? So I've been having one of those days, and you got to roll with it. You got to breathe, and you say, okay, I'm just going to dig this out. This is just moments in time, and just keep pushing through. But sometimes you have to support these things biochemically. The breathing doesn't help. The meditation doesn't help. And you get another email, and it's like more stuff falls on you. And so you gotta shift the mindset. And thankfully, I'm an expert in biochemistry and nutritional biochemistry and genetics, and I know my genes. I know what I'm susceptible to, and that really helps. And so what I've done is I've realized that anytime I have this type of anxiety or this stress and this heavy feeling of I can't get out of it, I know I need biochemical support. And what I have going on in my head, or I had, is a excessive amount of norepinephrine, excessive amount of epinephrine, excessive amount of serotonin, and I need to knock that stuff down so I am not frying my brain and I'm not just a punk and irritable to others, and so I can get a good restful sleep so I can start my day tomorrow on the right foot. So what did I do? I knew I had these excessive amount of neurotransmitters in my head. So I reached for something to knock that down. And there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of herbs, there's holy basil, there's hops, there's some people like valerian. I don't like valerian. It makes me feel funky. So I wanted something that acted very quickly on neurotransmitters. And what I did was this. I took one capsule, 5 milligrams of lithium orotate. And I took that, and I wasn't having a panic attack. I was just having, a solid amount of stress. I would say I was stressed, I would say 6 out of 10. That's pretty bad. So I took one of those capsules, and probably about 20 minutes, I already had that feeling go down, maybe even 15 minutes. And it's just this subtle decrease in anxiety and irritability and nervousness, I would say. And then I leveled out, and I was good. I was able to work. I was getting productive. I had a good mindset. And that's what you want. When the sky is falling on you, you got to shift that mindset. But it's tough to shift that mindset when you've got so much norepinephrine and epinephrine in your brain screaming at you that the sky is falling. And you're like, no, it's not. So lithium orotate to the rescue. And it's literally this tiny little capsule. And I admittedly just took another one a few minutes prior to starting this video. I took the other one this morning about 11 o'clock. So it's lasted me, what is it now? About 6 o'clock. So it's lasted me about 7 hours, me personally. And so I reach for lithium orotate when I have an acute amount of stress that I cannot calm down. And I have found it to be phenomenal. And it's one of those things that you don't get addicted to. It's one of those things that's safe. But if you are taking any type of psychiatric medications for any type of neurotransmitter, do talk to your doctor about taking lithium orotate, because it definitely will adjust your neurotransmitters significantly in a positive way. But if you're taking medications, it might not be so positive, because it might do something that the medications are supposed to do for you. So be careful, because the stuff works. And yeah. So anyway, talk with your doctor before you take your lithium orotate, especially if you're on psychological type modifying drugs like SSRIs, for example, or SNRIs. So I took one, 20 minutes later, calmed down, and to a couple other stories to help you out, understand the utility of this. My older son came down the stairs last school year. He was 16 at the time. He's like, Dad, I'm really having a panic attack here. And, the 16-year-old kid doesn't usually come up to you and say, Daddy, I'm having a panic attack. I'm freaking out because of my final, and it's really hard, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling good about it. And he goes, I need to study. I need to prepare. What do? I don't want to get knocked out. I still need to focus. And so I threw him a capsule of lithium orotate and gave him some magnesium and some electrolytes. And I said, all right, off you go. And I went to bed, and the next day I saw him and said, hey man, how you doing? And he goes, that stuff really helped. Thanks, Dad. And my wife, she had a moment where she was not doing well, maybe packing for a trip. It's never the husband's fault, so it was definitely not me. So I gave her some lithium, and within 20, 30 minutes, I had my wife back, which was amazing. But the problem is she felt so good from the lithium that she woke up the next day without telling me. And I came down in the kitchen and she was all weepy-eyed and teary. I was like, Nadji, what's up? Yesterday you're freaking out and all anxious, and today you're all weepy-eyed. And she goes, I know, I'm such a mess. I was like, did you take lithium because it was so good for you yesterday? She goes, yeah, and it's not working. In fact, I feel worse. I said, well, how'd you feel before you took it? A bit sad. It's a gray day. I said, well, you took the wrong thing. You should have taken more folate, possibly folinic acid. So I gave her some folinic acid and I pulled her out of the doldrums. So they say that lithium orotate can be really helpful for depression. I'm very confident in utilizing lithium orotate for anxiety, irritability, insomnia where you cannot fall asleep, and just a general edgy nervousness, kind of a COVID type supplement that we're all experiencing. And so reach for lithium orotate, especially if you're not taking any psychological drugs, prescription meds. So lithium orotate, I find one capsule to be very effective. I've used it in people as young as 15, and it's done very well. Hypothyroid, if you take it periodically, it's not going to be an issue. This is not the same type of lithium that is prescribed. That is very, very high dose and usually more poorly absorbed, but it's higher dose and it causes a lot more side effects. This does not really cause that many side effects, but it does clear out your neurotransmitters. So, part of that's a good thing. But if you clear out too many, you can get symptoms of depression. If you get symptoms of depression while you're taking the lithium orotate, well, first of all, you stop. And secondly, eat some more protein or some folate containing foods like veggies, or take the supplement folinic acid. And seekinghealth.com has both lithium orotate and folinic acid. And again, please do not take this if you are taking any psychiatric prescription drugs without talking to your doctor first, because it is effective. And man, I love it. I love it when I need it, and I needed it today. So lithium orotate, 5 milligrams. I took one at 11, and I felt I needed another one about 10 minutes ago now, and it's already taken the edge off. So experiment with it, try it, and use it when you need it. I do talk about it briefly in Dirty Genes here. So in this book on page 296, I talk about lithium for your slow MAO-A. So if you have a slow MAO-A, meaning a high levels of serotonin, or possibly norepi, or high dopamine as well, consider 5 milligrams to help calm the activity of excessive serotonin, because excessive serotonin can also drive your dopamine and norepi up as well. So too much neurotransmission in your brain leads to anxiety. Lithium blunts it. So give it a shot. Take care.